I really wish, I really want a conversation between James Lindsay and Chris Hayes. So
Oh yeah.
badly. So badly. James, why? Don't sabotage your chances here, James.
So if you look,
James,
the media people.
you realize James Lindsay was a big time anti-theist before this. Like he's like a bomb thrower, man. He's always been a bomb thrower. Nothing's really changed about James Lindsay. Like he's moved on to a new religion now. Now he's going to dismantle this one.
Well, I don't. It's possible. I didn't
The
follow
thing
him.
that the anti-theists.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second about your anti-theist stuff.
Mhm.
There's lots of people that can talk about anti-theism without coming across as crazy or trolling on Twitter, right?
Right. But the fundamental anti-theist argument was you would shame people into submission, and I think that's what he's still continually trying to do.
It's not. I'm not talking about him shaming people. I'm talking about him. To me, and this is why this is troubling, or it bothers me, is because he's so knowledgeable about the origins of all this critical theory nonsense.
I
He has
know.
a very good way of explaining it and breaking it down.
I agree. I agree. I listen to all his stuff.
I listen to
what is
every
it?
video
New
he
discourse,
puts out,
new
yes.
discourses that he does.
They're all
Everyone,
wonderful
yeah.
videos. Okay.
They upload
And-
5 minutes later. I'm listening.
Right. Exactly. And we need someone like James Lindsay who can do that, who can walk into these conversations with John McWhorter or Chris Hayes or any of these mainstream conversations and say, look, Chris, you have no clue what you're advocating for. This is what you're advocating for. And then when Chris pushes back, he says, no. I have the receipts. Bing, bong, boom, bom, boom. This is what we're talking about here. You just don't understand what you're advocating for. We need that person desperately.
Yeah,
to
James Lindsay's the
destroy
only one close.
the narrative. And the only person
I
even
know.
remotely close was James Lindsay.
Well, Helen Pluckrose could do it too, but
Maybe she could do it, but she seems a lot less combative.
but that's what you're asking James Lindsay to be. So that's perfect.
Yes, but
and she's got the
problem is-
woman card. Like she's
That's
like
true.
you have to listen. Sit down, son.
That's true. She could do it.
Believe
okay?
all
Maybe
women. She's telling
could
you
do
the
it.
truth here.
She could pick up the mantle. I
She's
don't know
got
if
a feminist background. She's perfect. Chris Hayes has to bow.
You're
Kiss
right.
the ring, Chris.
You're right. But
How do
until
we
she
do
picks
that?
up-
How do
until
we
she
get the
picks up
Helen Pluckrose?
Until she picks up the mantle, okay.
Mhm.
But she hasn't done yet. She could, and she would be the best avatar would be a black woman. Okay, obviously.
Oh.
You have to find a black woman. James Lindsay has to impart all his wisdom to a black woman, and then
know.
she'll be the avatar.
The understudy.
But my point is that it's just frustrating to me because whoever that person is who comes into the spaces to have these conversations with mainstream media figures, they can't be a fucking troll on Twitter because that destroys all their credibility. Because even in this conversation, if John McWhorter says, well, that's not what you're advocating for, Chris, because, this is XYZ, this is what you're really advocating for. And James Lindsay talks about this. Chris Hayes just says, oh, James Lindsay, he says crazy shit on Twitter. I just dismiss him instantly. And it's just like, it makes no sense to me why you would destroy your credibility for being this unique asset to the culture war in such a way.
Well, I have a theory, but I don't know if it's politically correct.
Say you're in politically correct theory.
Well, I feel like James Lindsay's like the nerd that suddenly became popular, and now he's like been beat up by the jocks his entire life, and he's like, now I'm super Chad. So
maybe
it's
that's
all
definitely
gone.
how it comes across.
It's all gone to his head. He's like, I'm a superstar now. Fuck
Maybe,
all of you.
Maybe.
I
It's
feel
very
like
possible.
it's just typical human nature.
No, you're 100% probably right.
Yeah.
It's just classic human nature.
He is a superstar, and also he has adopted. It is the same exact playbook from the anti-theists. Shame them into submission. I've seen him trying to shame Jesse Single on Twitter. Like he's trying to shame people into submission. Like, don't accept this stuff.
It's so not going to work. It's not even
No,
remotely
it's
gonna work.
rhetorically completely ineffective. Yes, I agree. It was ineffective when the anti-theists were doing it.
All it's doing, like,
Making people dig in harder. Yes.
yeah. Also, he's making people dig in. All it's doing is dividing the anti-woke community, which
Totally.
is stupid because we're always mocking the woke community for eating itself. And it's like, okay, so now we're gonna start doing purity testing on the anti-woke side.
Totally.
Like, what are we doing here? What's happening?
It's breaking up the anti-woke side and making the woke side stronger.
Right. It's insane.
What the fuck, James? But listen, he's a Chad. What's he gonna do? He's got to do it. You don't understand the ways of the Chad. He can't help himself.
Terrible.
I know. It's so bad.
That sucks.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so disappointing.
I know.
I love this. I love the heavy sighs. I love it when Sitch goes into heavy sigh mode.
I guess it's like Tim Pool. It's like you had someone who was really in a position.
Oh my God, he's the new anointed one.
You had someone in a position who could really impact positive change in the world.
It can't happen.
They just sacrifice
There's
it for
structural. There's a structural barrier here. I'm telling you.
No, but it's even worse because at least with Tim, I could say he's sold out for money or whatever.
Right.
But with Lindsay, it's the opposite. He's hurting his career. He's hurting his ability
think he is, though.
To enter the mainstream. Oh no, he is definitely.
I don't know. I don't know that he's hurting his financial. I don't know that he's hurting his financial gain. Like
he's not. No. Let me be clear. He's hurting his financial potential.
Mm-hmm.
Not his current financial gain.
I don't know, because I mean, he's a straight white male. What's he gonna do? He can't really. I mean, you can't move up the higher. Listen, I've told you privately a couple stories about like the Hollywood game with the straight white male.
Right.
At some point, you just check out. You're like, but this is impossible.
Okay, James Lindsay could have been Jordan Peterson 2.0. Okay, he could have been.
I don't know.
He's not anywhere near as
really.
He's not anywhere near as rhetorically effective as Jordan Peterson, but he could have been the guy that gets interviewed on all the shows.
He could have done the Kathy Newman debate pretty easily.
He could have been Kathy Newman with Chris Hayes or someone else. He would just calmly explain how everything this person is saying is wrong, and how all the woke stuff that you think you're advocating for is actually incredibly toxic, and you don't even like it. You just don't realize it.
Right.
He could have been that guy, but now he can't, because if he was on any of those shows, you know what they do? They say
they go straight to his Twitter.
I'm looking at your Twitter, and you're an anti-vaxxer.
Totally.
Why are you saying crazy shit about vaccines on Twitter?
Yeah, if he pulled in the performance that Jordan Peterson did with Kathy Newman, it would not be the same, because that performance immediately propelled people to Jordan Peterson's YouTube channel. And they started scouring his background. They couldn't find anything. They were like, "This guy's squeaky clean."
Exactly.
With James, it's completely opposite. This guy's dirty. We have enough dirt here to bury him 10 times over.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Kathy Newman's winning an Emmy, and poor James Lindsay.
Twitter destroys minds. Okay.
It does. Oh my God.
Twitter.
It does.
Stay off Twitter.
It does. It turns.
Oh my God.
I know it. I feel this, like you and I both had our Twitter addiction.
Yes.
Seriously, I feel like I'm making headway. I'm pulling back. I'm not tweeting near as much, and I mean, you and I are texting now, which is a better platform than interacting on Twitter. So I don't know. Maybe James will. No, I guess you're right. It's already spent. Never mind.
It's too
Water
late.
under the
It's
bridge.
too late.
So listen, we need to contact James, and we need to get a little sensei under him.
And I know you need to find a black female,
right?
A black trans woman. Okay.
Sensei, he would be the sensei. Who's the one under the sensei? We need him to mentor.
He needs a student. Yeah, as I'm saying, he needs to mentor a black trans woman.
Right.
Okay.
Someone who's never been on social media in their entire lives.
Someone who's such a part of so many different oppressed classes that they can never be canceled. Yeah.
They have a flip phone without a record button on it. Right?
Yes.
No history of blogging.
The avatar of anti-wokeness. That's what we need. We need the avatar to be to awaken from his iceberg.
What's that book that you love? The Ender's Game. This is like an Ender's Game scenario where we
That's
we
right.
need to like recruit.
We need an Ender Wiggum to come in and destroy the buggers.
We can do it. We can do it. We'll hit up James. We'll set it up. We'll get this going. This will be a new powerful storyline for Sitch and Adam here.
We're gonna find the chosen one.
Let us know. Send us your applications on Twitter. We'll we want to vet you closely, but
Though you have to include your impression score, okay? Because that's very key part of the matrix here is what's your impression score.
You're basically like a minority hire. We're just going to be straight up with you.
We're going to be 100% straight up with you, okay?
Yes, yeah.